Well, hello there. It is amazing to see you, and I really do hope that you are well today. I'm Jenny Kirk, welcome you up here to Weir Yard, and we're back on the Can We Fix It trail. Now, today's candidate is a Class 08 shunter, and it's been, well, on the back foot for a long time. It was stolen from me about 13 years ago when I had my shed broken into. And as a result, it's one of the models that did get recovered. I got most of my stuff back because the police were able to track down the crims and recovered it all. But one or two items did get damaged in the process, and this Class 08 was one of those. It's been shorn of some of the cab handrails and also some of the front steps, which didn't come back in the boxes, just gone completely. And up until now, I thought that these parts would be pretty much impossible to source. So the locomotive has just been pushed to the back of the shelf and largely forgotten about. But I do really like the livery. It's departmental grey, and it's one that Bachmann did actually quite early on in the release schedule. And I'd really like to get this back up and running. It also sports the leftovers of the CID weathering. That's basically dusting for prints. In order to get evidence for a prosecution, they did dust the models for prints, and that stuff is quite tricky to get off. So I'm going to be looking at cleaning it up, and I've got some new replacement steps actually from NIU models. You might remember that we did the Class 13 build, and I found these on their website when looking for the Class 13 parts. They actually proved really useful because the donor Class 08 was missing its front steps, but I made the precaution to get an extra set with this locomotive in mind. So today we're going to be delving in and doing a repair and fixer up, and this Gronk in trouble hopefully will see the rails again. So come with me and let's see how it goes on. Today's video comes in association with Trainomatic, makers of DCC decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabriek.co.uk. Additional support comes from...
This is Clark Railworks, and this is what we do. You'll know us from Ellis Clark Trains, and you'll get the same friendly expertise with us too. We've got a huge range of pre-owned model railways from all your favourite manufacturers, and maybe some you hadn't heard of before. It's the place to come for quality. We don't stock substandard models, and everything we sell is fully tested and photographed by model railway experts. No matter whether you model 00 gauge, N, HO or more, we have sought after models from all around the world with new listings added every weekday. Check out what's available now at clarkrailworks.com and don't miss out on your latest Loco.
Today's video is hopefully going to be quite a quick one, just trying to revive a Class 08 that does work. It's not the electrical or mechanical side of this that we're too bothered about. This is one of the locomotives that was stolen from me, and then subsequently it was recovered by the police, but it incurred some damage in the process. And as you can see, there's a few bits and pieces going on that really do need some attention. Now, it also had a broken side rod, and that's been actually jury-rigged with a screw, which allowed me to get this running. And at the moment, there's not really a lot I can do about that. It's missing the pin. But the main aim of this video is to do a restoration of the more cosmetic side of things. I thought about doing this because when I did my Class 13 video on the website from NIU Models where I got the parts, I was also able to get some sets of Class 08 replacement steps, and the donor model for that was missing both front steps. And it got me the idea that this could finally be revived with some careful application of these 3D printed spare parts. So I actually got a second set of these purely for one of these front steps. So I'm going to be looking at using that. And when it comes to the actual handrails on the cab, I've got an old piece of wire which I'm going to bend up some new ones out of wire, and these should be a lot more resilient, so that's also going to be part of the plan. Now first up, it needs a really good clean. So I've got myself a soft bristled brush, and we're just going in and cleaning out some of the muck that has kind of built up on this, especially in the years since it was stolen and then recovered. It's never really been properly cleaned, and some of this is the CID weathering. So just going to get in there and give it a good once over. There's a few dirty marks down there, so what I'm going to do is just get some cotton buds and a little bit of IPA, not too much, and we've got to be careful because we don't want to lift some of the detailing, and we're just going to get rid of some of these more smutty marks. Got a little cotton tipped bud here, and I'm just going to get in, and there's some of these dirty marks. Just going to very, very quickly soften them up, and then we can do a little bit of a clean off. And there's not actually too many. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I'm guessing over time some of these marks have kind of rubbed away. And there's also just a little bit of a mark here on the roof. And there we are. Just quickly, and you can see the muck that's come off. So that's got us our good starting point. Let's get rid of the IPA. And first up, I think the area that I want to get in here is where these steps were. Now the new steps come complete with all of the handrail fittings. So I'm actually just going to get rid of these that have survived. They're actually quite well glued in, which is probably how they survived. Just going to tidy that right back, and I'm also going to remove this handrail because that's going to get replaced. 2 mines on the other one. I'll leave that for now. It isn't broken, so we'll see how it actually looks compared to the new one. I might still replace it anyway. Now these are quite easy to deal with. You get a full set there, back steps and front steps. But all I actually want is a single one of these. Now, don't use a knife or anything to try and cut this off. The 3D printed material is actually, I wouldn't say brittle, but it has a habit of snapping in weird directions if you try and use a knife, unless it's incredibly sharp, which, unless it's a brand new blade out of the packet, it's not going to be. And even then, I think my preference is just to try and get that. There we go. Got that lifted. On the back, I'm just going to use the sprue cutters. And I'm going to keep all the rest of these. They're going to come in handy if I ever come across another 08 which is missing its steps. And this will just glue in there. In fact, just in case we ever have to go back inside, I want to move this out of the way. This is weird wire that attaches the body to the chassis as part of the pipe work, and then I can glue this in and then put that back in afterwards. I'm going to use some super glue. It grabs fairly quickly. Just going to apply a tiny amount along the back of the steps. Make sure that that wire is out of the way, and then that should just fit in there, fitting it up to the lip, and blow on it. It's actually the warmth coupled with the moisture in your breath which acts as the catalyst for the super glue. And I'm just going to leave that wire for now. So I'm going to move next to the handrails. First of all, I'm going to make sure that we get the first bend in nice and tight, and that should just slot into the existing holes. Now that's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to get my pin vise and just open that out. So I've got what looks to be the right size. You don't want it too loose in there, otherwise it'll come straight out. And let's just get the drill bit replaced. And using the existing holes as our guide, very carefully open these out. So again, we can use our soft brush, get rid of any of the swarf, and just test it back again. So that is perfect going in. Measuring down to where the other hole is, and what I actually want to do is give myself enough to bend that over. So I'm going to cut the wire there. Fairly soft steel wire this. You can use brass wire. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clamp that in there and get a second pair of pliers and just start to fold over the end. Let's just double check on this. Second one into brace, and let's start that bend. And that should give us our new handrail, and that can then be painted with white paint. So I'm just going to, where's my little tack hammer? Just very, very carefully. And there we have it. So I'm going to leave that plastic one that's not broken just for now, just in case we run short on the wire. I'm going to start this off again with just there. I'm going to bend that over quite tight. So we've got our start. Just need to widen out these holes as well. And then again, we can line this up, push this in, and aim for down here and bend over the end. By using the two pliers, we can get a nice crisp turn. Get that lined up. That's in. I'm just going to use the tweezers to make sure we can get the other end into place. So that's number 2 in place. Next one, and it's probably as well that we left that plastic one in place. I don't think I've got quite enough of the soft wire here to be able to get this all done. Let's just measure up. Actually, no, we might be able to go back and replace the other side. Then we've got 4 matching handrails. The beauty of these metal ones is that the spring actually keeps them in place on the model. Make sure that we're bending at the same angle as the other end. And again, just drift that in very carefully. So I've got enough to be able to do the final one of the handrails. So I'm going to save the original one because it's not damaged and it might be fine for helping out another 08 in the fleet on a simple repair. So I'm going to bend around one end. This has got just a little bit of a bend to it. This is the beauty of the soft iron rails, is that you can quite easily manipulate them, and just spring that in using the tweezers. And there we have it. We've got a full set of metal handrails, and we've also got that front step sorted out as well. So I'm going to paint these up. So I've got 2 different colours, matte 34 and matte 33 in the Handrail enamel range, and I'm going to use these for painting up the front steps and then also the handrails as well. So I've already got this well shaken. Let's get in and just start to paint up these front steps. I've actually found that you don't really need undercoat on these. The Handrail enamel gives you good coverage straight out of the tin. And 1 coat is all that you need. So that's the front steps done. Very quickly clean off the brush, and then this actually does dry very, very quickly. So I'll be back and just coat up the cab handrails and the front little rails, the handrails on the shunter steps. Well, I really enjoyed that video, and certainly it was an easy little project to get what would have otherwise been a bit of a shelf queen and a dust collector back up and running for the main layout. And we've got a link in the description box to NIU Models. It's not an affiliate link or anything, it's just really to help you out where to find the parts that I used today. And if you're looking for wire for the locomotive handrails, then this is available from a lot of hobby shops. I used some scrap stuff that I found in a drawer, but anywhere that sells parts like Plastruct usually has a good selection of brass wire in various gauges as well. And it's a really easy little thing to do. A lot of the early Bachmann locomotives, like the Class 25, the 24 and the 08, all suffered from this issue with quite fragile plastic handrails. But they did later on go over to wire, so all you'll be doing is taking an older model and bringing it up to more modern specs. I'd love to hear from you in the comments section down below. Have you taken on maybe a scrap box model and transformed it from something down at heel and in the gutter into something that is a queen of your layout? Do let me know, and let me know about maybe some of the hints and tips that you've got for repairing some of these slightly damaged models. And let me know as well if you've found any really good cheap bargains at shows that you've transformed with a little bit of TLC. It's always great to hear about your projects as well. Please like, share and subscribe, and you can also find us over on Patreon at the link down below if you want to help support the channel to keep making the videos that you want to see. We've also got a link to our full merch store just underneath the video down there, where you can find your Billy's Replacement t-shirts and of course Gronk It Up as well, one of our biggest sellers. You can get these as t-shirts, hoodies. You can also get the designs on mugs and stickers too, so do have a browse and see what you can find. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling, bye for now. Today's video comes in association with Trainomatic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabriek.co.uk. Additional support is provided by...
This is Clark Railworks, and this is what we do. You'll know us from Ellis Clark Trains, and you'll get the same friendly expertise with us too. We've got a huge range of pre-owned model railways from all your favourite manufacturers, and maybe some you hadn't heard of before. It's the place to come for quality. We don't stock substandard models, and everything we sell is fully tested and photographed by model railway experts. No matter whether you model double O gauge, N, HO or more, we have sought after models from all around the world with new listings added every weekday. Check out what's available now at clarkrailworks.com and don't miss out on your latest Loco.
I'd like to thank everybody over on Patreon, and an extra special huge thanks goes out to our Patreon heroes. Without you guys over on Patreon, we really wouldn't be able to keep making the video content that you see on this channel. And don't forget that you can also head on over to patreon.com/Jennifer Kirk and check out the different tiers of rewards. Thank you so much. You are absolute legends.